So the shadowboxing that you just saw is really, really important for boxing. It's a simulation of a fight. So the more real the shadowboxing is, the more rounds you actually spar. And this is where you learn your skills.
Yeah, in a boxing ring, not in between sets, because you've got nothing else to do. Simon Audio here, thank you for joining me as always, and today we are going to be talking about KSI, and the reason we're going to be talking about KSI, I'm sure you know who he is, massive YouTubers, crossed over into the mainstream, especially over here in the UK, because he went from this to this, and that makes him somebody of interest to this very channel. He also had a boxing match, I believe this weekend just gone, if you're watching this video on day one, where he had two boxing fights in the same evening. He kicked off the event at the O2, he won, and then he fought a professional boxer. It was a rapper in the first fight, and a professional boxer in the second fight, and he won both. And now apparently he wants to build up to a fight with Logan Paul, beat Logan Paul, retire Logan Paul from boxing, and then he sounds like he's going to retire as well. And also, there's some rumors going around about Jake Paul fighting Anderson Silva soon. If that happens, you bet your ass I'm going to make a video about it. So Men's Health obviously went and chatted to KSI to let us know how he dropped 15 kilograms of weight. And 15 kilograms is a hell of a lot of weight, so let's go through it and see how he built his body. And it's also my pleasure and privilege to tell you that today's video is sponsored by Magic Spoon, the cereal who has been supporting me, Simon Miller, for a while. And because of that, I'm going to eat some right now. It's my current new favorite flavor, which is peanut butter. I just got to bend down here a second, because seriously, even without milk, and I'm not kidding, I like it. And the best part about it is cereal is the greatest food on the planet. This we know. If you are trying to get in shape and you are going to try and get healthy, you don't want to eat too much of it because, it's not entirely good for you. However, Magic Spoon is a healthy cereal, so you can eat it and not feel as guilty. And the main reason for this is because Magic Spoon cereals are 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, everyone loves protein, and only 4 to 5 net grams of carbs in each serving. The thing is, they are always updating their stock though, so right here, right now, you can also get brand new cereal bars in cocoa peanut butter flavor or cookies and cream. And they come in at 1 grams of sugar, 10 grams of protein, 4 net grams of carbs, and only 130 calories per bar. So seriously, I've been eating this stuff for well over a year now, this you know, and it never fails to engage my sweet tooth. And if you go to magicspoon.com right now and use the code SIMON, you're gonna get $5 off. When you're there too, you can also build your very own variety box with the flavors: cocoa, fruity, frosted, peanut butter, cookies and cream, maple waffle, honey nut, blueberry muffin, and cinnamon roll. And yes, if you wanna put some bars in there, you can do that too. So click the link in the description below, use code SIMON to get $5 off, or just go to magicspoon.com/Simon. And yes, we've said it before, we'll say it again. If you live in the UK or if you live in Canada, Magic Spoon are now shipping to you. And don't worry, United States, they've already got your back. So thank you to Magic Spoon. Go try some.
Tell me what I'm going to be doing today.
So today we're going to be doing light warm-up of skipping. Then we'll go into our shadowboxing technical drills. Our skills for the drills, so our slipping, picking our shots. Then we'll be hitting shoulder circuits, some bungee work for power and speed.
Okay.
And then we'll be finishing off with a little bit of wrestling drills, a little bit of inside game, and then a little shoulder circuit and some neck work at the end.
So obviously it's very much based on a boxing workout. However, I've said this before and I'll say it again. If you were looking for a way to get a good cardio workout with some other sort of elements in there, you should go try boxing. I think loads of people see boxing on TV and go, well, I could do that, when you absolutely can't. Because do not forget, not only is the ring quite spongy, I mean, if you go to boxing training, you're probably going to be doing it on mats. But the whole is because the ring is quite spongy and you kind of have to be on your toes the whole time. Plus you're holding your hands up here, the entirety of the fight with kind of heavy gloves on. It will kick your ass, especially because there's a lot of explosive movements. And he mentioned how we're going to warm up by doing some skipping and some other, fast-paced training techniques, I suppose. And that obviously is basically heading in the direction of HIIT, high-intensity training, which is also very similar to wrestling. Loads of people say to me, oh, Simon, how do you build cardio for wrestling? I wouldn't ask me. I have the worst cardio ever. But there's something called I think it's called the up and downs, which for me is absolutely ridiculous thing to say. But it's when you lay on your back and you get to your feet using your elbow, because that's how you stand up in professional wrestling, because you clench your fist and then nobody can stand on it. You get to the top, you take the fighting pose, you go back down, you give it a second, you do it again. You do that over and over and over and over again. And I tell you, after a couple of minutes, you were going to be panting and you were going to be breathing heavily, because it does absolutely kick your ass when it comes to cardiovascular activity. And it will be the same with this. And in turn, yes, you're going to build a little bit of muscle. Yes, you're going to lose a lot of weight because, you're pushing it. But for people that don't like going to the gym, I genuinely think going to do boxing is actually, it's not a good alternative. It's a good alternative. It's not a like for like, but it's probably something you're going to be able to sink your teeth into.
So before we start our workout, it's really important to get the blood flowing and get the blood pumping. So we always start with a nice skip to warm up and loosen up the body, get the blood pressure up. And then we move over to the resistance bands. And this is to activate the shoulders.
Which is also true for the gym. What are the two things he just said there? We're going to warm up and prime the body. And we're going to warm up the shoulders. Because if you do indeed decide to go to the Fitness Palace of Love and join the BLC, the Big Little Club, doesn't matter if you're big, doesn't matter if you're little, you are in the club as long as you're going to the gym. I respect you, whatever you're doing, in order to try and stay in shape. But the point is, once you walk into there, you are absolutely going to have bad shoulders at some point, unless you are super duper lucky, but most people aren't super duper lucky. So do this. Do stuff now in order to prevent injury. Don't get injured and then go, meh, what am I going to do? Do yoga, do YWTs when you stick your arms out like this and you stick your arms out like this, etc., etc. You can find it on Google. All of these things are going to put you in the best position so you can train for a long time. And if you're like me, you want to train at 30, you want to train at 40, you want to train at 50, 60, 70, and if we're lucky, 80, 90. I want to be 95 and still doing deadlifts in the gym. Well, let's face it, I'll probably be dead.
So there's a particular way to wrap your hands if you're a heavy hitter, if you're a big puncher. So we have something to grip hold onto, and that'll make your fist tighter and get the punch hard and keep structure to your hand so you don't break it when you punch hard.
This doesn't tie into anything, but I've started wrapping my hands like that, exactly that method, for pro wrestling. Because, of course, I did break my hand. Simon stopped going on about it. And ever since I've started using this method, I feel a lot safer and I feel like nothing's going to go wrong. Cue next week to a video saying I broke my hand again.
So the shadow boxing that you just saw is really, really important for boxing. It's a simulation of a fight. So the more real the shadow boxing is, the more rounds you actually spawn. This is where you learn your skills.
Yeah, in a boxing ring, not in between sets, because you've got nothing else to do. Now, in the real world, you do whatever you want. If you want to be that guy that goes after you've done one set of bicep curls before you do your next set of bicep curls, more power to you. But do know that if you see me in the gym and I'm watching you, I'm secretly going to be laughing because I'm a bad, bad person.
So after the shadow boxing skills, what we'll do now is go to partner drills. What that means is we're going to bring a partner in and we're going to get some live drills in where one person's going to try and hit their shot and the other person's going to hit some skills, which is slipping, counter punching.
I mean, it's nuts. Like, it really, really is nuts. Like, if you don't want to go on a cross trainer, got one right there. If you don't want to go on a treadmill, you don't want to do sprints outside, whatever it may be. I'm kind of repeating myself, but, I want to get it through to you. I genuinely think this is the way to go, because you've got those coincidence, bam, bam, bam kind of moves. Plus you have someone trying to hit you, so you're trying to dodge. There is an element of danger there, but I don't think they were wearing head guards. You can wear head guards, etc. But so many people come to me and they say, "Someone, I don't want to go to the gym. I don't like going to the gym." And there's a bunch of other stuff you can try. We mentioned wrestling. You can do mountain climbing. You could go do MMA. I think boxing is probably my number one. I used to do it ages ago. I didn't have the killer instinct, which is why I never had a fight. They weren't wrong. It's 100% true. But yeah, if you are on the fence and you're looking for a way to enjoy your fitness, which you've struggled to get so far, I'm putting my weight behind this one.
And the wrestling work is kind of like boxing on the inside. So it's a mixture of like dirty boxing and pummeling, things that happen in fights, things that happen in competition. So we've got to practice that. It's not just per chance or lucky. We have to make sure we're in shape for it. And there's a different type of fitness that goes with punching and with grabbing.
That's so true as well. So many people think that it's just you get in shape and then you're in shape. Again, I can apply this to wrestling because it's something that I have a personal relationship with. Before I came back to the ring after my broken hand, I know it's so boring. Of course, I'm doing cardio every single day. It's what I like to do, an hour of fasted cardio in the morning. But nothing prepares you for getting into a wrestling ring because it's a different type of cardio. Because again, you're up, you're down, you're left, you're right, you're center, you're over there, you're up, down, little flesh, stress. There's a bunch of stuff going on. So the only way you can get used to that is by doing it. Doesn't mean you don't do the other stuff. So you don't just, keep doing whatever other cardio you are doing. But if you want to get good at the boxing part, you need to practice boxing. And if you want to get good at the wrestling part, as they called it, you need to get good at the wrestling part. And make sure you apply that to what you're doing in the gym too. If you're doing a bunch of cardio, you're going to have a better cardiovascular system, but it's not going to help with your weight work and vice versa. There's so many people that do a leg workout and think that's their cardio. That's absolute nonsense. It's absolute gibberish. When you go to the gym, Fitness Palace of Love, to train legs, you are trying to get your legs bigger. That's it. That's all it is. Or you're trying to shape them up, or whatever it may be. You're trying to achieve muscle synthesis. Of course, you're going to burn a few calories, and of course, you are going to engage your cardiovascular system, but it is not cardio work in the same way that we're talking about it now.
Good job. So we use these resistance bands to get some explosion, some power into the joints, get nice, good form, so where our body's in a good, strong structure, and it gives us endurance and power in the shot.
So you say what you ever want about KSI, I'm sure you have your own opinions, but this is damn hard work. Like, the YouTube boxing scene kind of has a negative rap, which I understand, because if you are a professional boxer and you've worked your way up from the minor leagues to the middle leagues to the major leagues, you are going to have a little bit of a chip on your shoulder about someone finding fame and finding success in a different area and just jumping across. Now, of course, only a 7.5-minute video, so you don't know what's going on. But given the crazy weight loss, and given that he did knock out 2 people, even if they were tomato cans, as some people say, I think these kind of videos show that the effort and the work that is going in. I don't want to tie a couple of resistant bands to a fence, then do punches. Sounds like it sucks.
We get to our shoulder conditioning, and we put in a circuit that hits every aspect of the shoulder. From our rear delts to our front delts to our biceps, our forearms, everything that helps in punching. So we can keep our endurance and our power up, and we don't fade in power. Okay, so we'll go straight through now.
So it looks like we're doing a shoulder circuit here. I saw lateral raises, I saw front raises, and I saw a version of a shoulder press, but it's very, very quick movement. It's like it's a lot of light weight, again, to keep that explosiveness. But once more, absolutely take into account that we have shoulders, deltoids, triceps, latimus dorsi, back, pecs, chest, whatever you want to call it, legs. And the thing that they are concentrating on is shoulders. Now, of course, it's because it's a boxing contest, and a lot of it's going to come from your hips, and a lot of it's going to come from your shoulders. But I would also hazard a guess the reason they are doing it is because they are such a crappy joint. They just are. They will go at a moment's notice, and they will make you cry into your cornflakes. And nobody wants to cry into their cornflakes. You put milk in there, and you have a good time. This is basically me trying to hammer home anyone that does give a crap what I think, that shoulder preservation could be one of the most important things when it comes to lifting weights and any kind of athletic endeavor. Because, mine have gone like 4 times, and I never even did anything that was that nuts.
The neck workout's really, really fundamental in boxing. When you get punched on the chin. Your neck supports you, it stops you from getting knocked out, it stops you from getting rattled. It's a super important muscle we have to work, and it can't get neglected, so we always put a lot of time in. And one more flick, arch your back.
Now, you don't need to worry about your neck if you're just going to the gym. However, bridges and doing all that kind of crazy stuff, once again, does pertain to wrestling, because you're taking a lot of bumps and you're falling on your head a lot. Sometimes not intentionally, so you need to strengthen the neck. If you want to see some truly astonishing feats of strength when it comes to that, type in like New Japan Dojo and watch those trainees as they learn to do bridges. They do things that are unimaginable as far as I'm concerned. But even KSI here, being able to do the neck bridge and then running round and round and round, that takes a lot of effort and it takes a lot of work. I wouldn't advise that as, something you do for cardio. But I tell you, if you do believe you have the neck strength and you believe you've got the technique and form, if you did do that, it's pretty good.
I love the drive it gives me. I love the purpose it gives me. I feel like I'm able to challenge my body every day, push my body to the limit, and then keep on pushing. I compare it to Goku or Vegeta or those anime.
And then he compares it to anime because why the hell not? I actually quite like what he said. I think it's important to have inspirations like that from things you are passionate about, and then you can tie them in one little clip. So what I would take from that if I were you is if you are struggling to lose weight, you're struggling to find your fitness purpose, go try boxing. Genuinely, I think it's awesome. I think it's great. Obviously, you're probably not preparing for a fight at the O2 Arena. You probably don't have the money that KSI has or the trainers, but there are a bunch of good boxing schools out there that hopefully will be kind to you, allow you to bed in at your own speed. And in about 6 to 8 weeks, I think you'll see some dramatic changes as long as your diet is correct too. Don't forget, of course, if you're sedimentary anyway, or you're not doing much, and then you, start going to boxing training, but you keep your calories the same, you're still going to lose weight because you'll be burning more calories. But you want to make sure that all this stuff is working as well as everything else. So get a good diet, get a good fitness regime, allow yourself to have nice food here and there. Otherwise, you are going to go crazy. You're not training for a competition or a boxing fight, so you are allowed to have that halfway house. Just be smart. You know what's healthy. You know what's healthy, and basically go try boxing. Also, please do like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Hit the bell ding dings. You know other videos going live. There will be a video on the screen. Please do give it a click and leave a comment below. Otherwise, grillermind.com/Simon. There's a sale on right now, so if you use the code Simon, you'll get 10% off and a whole lot more. At Simon316 on Instagram and Twitter if you want to send me videos like this. On Cameo, if you want to shout out, patreon.com/Simon316. The fails videos will restart this week. Finally, I know, took my long ass time, but you take care of yourself, and I'll see you soon.